The Varnak Imperium had expanded for centuries unchecked. World after world had fallen to their fleets of sleek warships and disciplined soldiers. Their doctrine was simple: strike swiftly, overwhelm resistance, and install imperial rule before any meaningful defense could be mustered. When their strategists identified an isolated blue planet on the Orion Spur, they saw only another easy conquest. It was rich in water, minerals, and biomass. Its inhabitants were young, barely post-industrial by galactic standards. To the Imperium, Earth was nothing more than another acquisition. The fleet descended on a cold morning, slipping past satellites and scattering orbital stations with minimal effort. Commanders reported victory was imminent. Soldiers were briefed on light resistance. What the Imperium didn't realize was that Earth was no ordinary world. The first Varnak troopship landed outside a human city called Warsaw. Armored infantry disembarked, weapons charged, expecting panic. Instead, sniper fire cracked from rooftops. Within seconds, 3 alien soldiers dropped. The rest scrambled for cover, confused. Humans weren't fleeing. They were fighting back. Reports surged through the Varnak command net. In New Delhi, swarms of human drones and repurposed civilian aircraft harassed drop zones. In Nairobi, militia groups armed with nothing more than rifles ambushed armored patrols and disappeared into alleys. In Texas, entire families rolled artillery out of barns, heritage pieces but still deadly. The Imperium's general was baffled. How are primitives resisting trained soldiers? His aide's mandibles trembled. Sir, these aren't primitives. These are humans. Still, the Imperium pushed harder. They deployed walkers into Berlin, only to be torn apart by human anti-tank weapons. They attempted orbital bombardments, only to have their ships struck by crude but devastating surface-to-air missiles. Every city became a battlefield, every street a trap. Then came the forests, mountains, and deserts. In the Amazon, entire squads vanished, picked off by unseen hunters. In Afghanistan's mountains, humans struck from caves, disappeared, then struck again. In the Arctic, Varnak troops froze while locals in patched gear thrived. Every environment they entered, humans adapted and exploited. The Imperium had studied galactic empires, but they had never studied Earth. Soon the Varnak learned another truth. Humans never fought alone. Civilians carried supplies through gunfire. Farmers turned tractors into barricades. Hackers broke into alien comms and rerouted their targeting systems. Children passed water to soldiers. Entire populations mobilized, not because they were ordered to, but because survival was in their blood. The Imperium was used to fear breaking their enemies, but humanity's fear turned into fury. When the first Terran counteroffensive launched, it stunned the galaxy. Crude railguns mounted on ships fired tungsten slugs that ripped through Varnak hulls. Swarms of outdated jets, coordinated by satellite data, tore into alien squadrons. Infantry regiments, ragged but unyielding, stormed alien fortifications with fire in their eyes. The Varnak Imperium had miscalculated fatally. They thought Earth was weak. Instead, they had awakened a world built on hardship, war, and survival. General Koresh, commander of the invasion, watched his forces dwindle. "This should have been simple," he whispered bitterly. "We forgot to ask one question." His aide asked softly, "What question, sir?" Koresh's mandibles clicked in despair. "What is the planet's name?" The answer was Earth. By the end of the campaign, the Imperium retreated, leaving shattered hulls burning in orbit. Humanity had not only survived the onslaught, they had rallied, unified, and struck back harder than anyone believed possible. The Galactic Council, watching from afar, was shaken. Never before had a pre-space species humiliated the Imperium. Delegates whispered in disbelief. If this is how humans fight without fleets of their own, what will they become once they spread to the stars? On Earth, survivors dug graves, rebuilt cities, and swore oaths. They had not chosen this war, but they had won it together. And though scarred, humanity now knew something the galaxy did not. They were not prey. They were predators. And anyone foolish enough to forget the planet's name would remember it forever.